So welcome. Thank you for being here. So you guys all know this is kind of a casual chat, and you're going to get to know more, and you're even going to get to ask him questions. So as we're chatting, make sure to think about what you may want to ask, so at the end he'll be able to answer the questions that you have for him. Take advantage of this moment because he is a wealth of knowledge. So now that we're here, if you could tell me a little bit about what businesses you own in this community and beyond, and so we can kind of get to know that side of you before we dig deeper into the other parts.
Sure. Well, first of all, thank you for having us, Chris.
Oh, yes. Thank you for being here.
And it's an honor to be here. Thank you all for being here. My name is Alex Flores, and I'm the owner and dealer principal of the Bravo Auto Group, and we bought a dealership in Victoria, Texas, actually two dealerships, the Honda and the Nissan store, back in October of 2021. It's been an amazing journey. We have some dealerships in El Paso, Texas, as well as New Mexico, in Las Cruces, New Mexico. And we've got a big used car lot as well in El Paso. So we're in the car business, and we've been very blessed. And coming to Victoria has been amazing so far.
And so when you came to the community of Victoria, I noticed that you just didn't open dealerships. A big part has been giving back and getting involved in the community. So I personally wanted to tell you thank you for that as well, because it does make a big difference and you're making an impact. And I always love when I see business owners that it's not just about business, but you're also getting involved in the community. And, you know, a lot of you guys know my music video. He actually lent me the car to use in my music video, which he didn't have to do that. So that was super nice. So I appreciate that. But they're always having cool events and different things going on. So the fact that he does all these things and is always mindful about helping others and mentoring and doing all this, I need to know, what kind of family did you grow up in and where are you from?
Well, I was born in Mexico City. I came to the States as an immigrant, and I was 16 years old when I first came. And I came for the American dream. So I've been here since 1989. And I ended up joining the military. I grew up with a poor family, so I didn't have a lot. So coming to the United States was, my dream to be able to come here and live this amazing life. And when I got here, I realized it wasn't going to be as easy, but it's been awesome, and it's been a huge blessing. And of course, as you know already, I joined the military, and that was a big part of my life and my success.
And so you're a veteran known, obviously, because you're in the military. And, you talked about growing up in a different country and coming over here in the American dream. You really embody that. But you're not only that, you also give back. So you didn't forget what it felt like to first come over here and be building and doing that. So can you tell me a little bit about that side of you, of why you feel so passionate to give back and to mentor and do inspire? You really not just do inspiring things, but you're inspirational in the way that you deal with people and handle people. And because I've seen you interact with people and you're very thoughtful and kind. So kind of tell me a little bit about that.
Yeah, well, the way I grew up, I basically came from the bottom. So it's always in my heart to treat people kind, and especially people who I believe maybe go unnoticed. Anytime that you go places, you feel like, oh my gosh, I'm with all these important people, but you might not notice a person filling up your glass with water. So I always go out of my way to say hi to people like that. I always go out of my way to recognize a janitor, my employees. My favorite employees at every dealership are usually the people that clean the dealerships. I love them to death. Yoli and Billy, they're amazing. And it's just, I feel like, we need to be kind to everyone and not just try to be kind to the people, quote unquote, that are important. I want to be able to just touch everybody in a way that they feel special. And I feel like sometimes those people go unnoticed. So, because of my background, how I grew up so poor and all the things that I went through, I was that guy, washing dishes. I was that guy cleaning carpets at a hotel. I was that guy picking up trash and all those things. So I want to make sure that, that I inspire those people and I let them know that, hey, what you're doing is amazing. You're making a difference. And I appreciate you. So I usually try to go out of my way to celebrate people like that, to recognize them, and also be extremely grateful for them.
Well, and I think one of the things that I just picked up from what you said is that you actually see people. A lot of people see them, but they don't truly see them. And you not only see them, you acknowledge them and you inspire them. And I think that's so important as not only a business owner, just being a person, is recognizing the people that we're surrounded with, no matter what their job title is. Like you said, they don't have to be the most important, quote unquote, person, but just really seeing people. And that is something I respect so much that I've noticed that you do. Doesn't matter who you are, you stop and you take the time and you really see people and you acknowledge them. So thank you for doing that, because I hope that inspires other people to know how important it is to take the time to do that and get to know people. And since you mentor so many people, did you have any mentors that inspired you or you still talk to?
Yeah, well, I've been very blessed that, I've been given a lot of opportunities. And, I hear a lot of people complain about, oh man, nobody wants to give me an opportunity. I've been given opportunities, but I've also done something with them. And I've been extremely blessed that I feel like when someone sees that you're honest, you're hardworking, you're positive, you're grateful, and you have a good attitude, people will go out of their way. And I'm sure people here in this room who would do that for anyone, and I know I would. If I see someone who truly, truly cares, I'm going to do whatever I can to help those people, to bring them up to my level or even higher, because that's what you do. I mean, that's the whole point of success, is being able to help other people achieve things that perhaps they seem impossible to them, and to be able to give them the resources and the help to help them. That's a blessing for me, for sure.
And you're right. That is success. That's, to me, what a true legacy is, right? Is making someone better than you are, or inspiring them to go places maybe they thought they couldn't achieve. And so you do that, and you inspire them and lift them up. And so you're giving back just like you were given to, and on your journey. And when you're talking about success, I'm curious: have you had anything that you deem as a failure that you went through, and kind of what did you learn from that?
Well, I don't even know where to start, but I was thinking about that because I figured I saw one of your interviews, yes. and I heard you say this is something that I always ask. So I figured you were going to ask me that, and so I kind of cheated a little bit. Sorry, but I was thinking about that. And I was like, man, where do I even start? From not being present for my first son and putting my work before him, from failing on my first marriage, from overcoming addiction, from maybe not having as close relationship with my siblings, from maybe thinking that it was all about me at some point and not giving other people credit, having to be humbled. So I could go on, on and on. But the way I look at it is, they're not failures. They're what got me where I am today, and what's made me who I am today. And because of those failures that I've gone through, in fact, I've had some since I've been to Victoria, and you just learn from them, and you just become better. And the thing is that you can't keep doing the same thing and just keep doing it. So what I do is I just grow from it. So it's not that I'm failing, I'm just growing.
Well, and you're completely right. And, I appreciate, first off, your honesty and your realness, because that's what I feel all of us need to hear. This is somebody at a level you are in success and doing what you're doing, to know that you have been through it. Like, you can connect with them and have these conversations. And when they come in to buy a car or to chat with you, you've probably been in a lot of their shoes. And I think it's good to have that perspective. And it isn't a failure. You're right. Like, sometimes people carry this cognitive load of this backpack, and it's really heavy of, all these failures and these things I didn't do right. It is actually your superpower. It empowers you to be where you are now and to have that knowledge. Like they say, knowledge is power. So you take that with you, and that's what I see you doing, is you're taking all of those things and you're using them as your superpower to be able to do what you do and to give back through, motivation and everything else.
Yeah, I was going to say, it's my testimony, and I'm not ashamed of it. I want everybody to know. I want people to know that I was a member of Celebrate Recovery. I want people to know that, my first marriage failed, and it was 50% my fault, for sure. And I wanted people to know that I haven't always been the best parent, that I haven't always been the best leader, because I think too many people, we want people to perceive like the best version of us, and we don't want to really talk about where we failed and we fall short. But I think that could be very inspiring to people to know that, hey, you know what? Alex struggled with things, but he overcame it. And he went through this, and he fought for his marriage, and they made it. And they were separated for a year, and it was over. And, she filed for divorce, and he was about to sign the paperwork, and they came back together, and they worked on it. and they made it through, and now they've been together for 16 years and have two beautiful daughters. So it's just, it's a journey, and it's a fight. So, the Bible says, talk about fighting the good fight. I'm fighting the good fight every day. And God has gotten me through everything I've been through, and that's my story. And I want to be able to be an inspiration. I do this all over the country. I speak Vegas, Tampa, Atlanta, you name it, Denver. I just got back from Denver, and I want people to know my story and that it is possible. That it's possible for anyone to overcome anything and everything as long as you're willing to change.
Well, and I think it first starts with being vulnerable, right? Like being vulnerable and knowing that it's okay to talk about our journey. It's okay to talk about our struggles, because then something really beautiful happens is the world really opens up and you realize you're not alone in those struggles. And it's so empowering when you're able to talk to somebody who is maybe where you were and help bring them to the light when they're in the darkness. And so you're exactly right. It's owning that and realizing that that doesn't damage you. That actually adds value to you because you're learning from it and growing from it and moving in a positive direction. So it's so great. Tell me about your speaking. Like, I know you talk everybody. Tell me a little bit how you got started in that and what exactly it is you speak about.
Well, I did amazing things in the field of work that I'm in. And so I was approached by a lot of people, and people always come and ask me, hey, how did you do it? How did you do it? And of course, I looked it up, and only 1% of people who actually start in the car business as salespeople, which is what I did. Imagine that. A car salesman becomes an owner of new franchises. It's not common. In fact, I always tell people I'm Juan in a million. And because it's literally 1% of people that do that. It happens too. So people want to know, how did you do it? What did you have to do? And I try to tell people that, hey, it was all by transforming the way I think. It was all by just not being a victim and just thinking about like what I can do, not focusing on what's in the past, but what's in the future. Also learning how to forgive myself, forgive people that have hurt me, people that have done me wrong, and just be able to focus and be able to know that I can achieve anything. And I always talk about the 3 C's. I talk about how you have to first make a choice. So for those entrepreneurs out there that came here like, hey, Alex, give me the golden nugget. 3 C's, you have to make a choice. Make a choice of what you want to do. Make a choice of where you want to go, how you want your life to look like in 5 years, 10 years. And then you have to make sure you make changes, because I always say if nothing changes, nothing changes. And then you have to be ready to take on the challenge, because it's not going to be easy. Being a business owner is not easy. My first year here in Victoria, I thought for sure I was going to go out of business. It was hard, very, very hard. And hard on my family, traveling, being away from my 2 little daughters and my wife, staying at a hotel and horrible mattress, and 3-4 nights a week. And it wasn't the most glamorous life, but you know what? I knew, hey, I can do this. I'm going to get through this. So to answer your question, stages, just talking about transforming of the mind. My favorite scripture is Romans 12:2. Do not be conformed by the patterns of this world, but be transformed by the renewing of the mind. So I go around telling people, transform your mind. Do not be conformed. Do not let people tell you that you can't do something. Don't let people tell you that it's okay to be like this, that it's okay to be complacent or, negative, or, you have to speak life. Every day I wake up, it's gratitude. 3 things that I'm grateful for. 3 a.m., 3:30 a.m., I'm up saying, hey, I'm grateful for this, I'm grateful for this, and I'm grateful for this, and I'm ready to go.
That's fantastic. And it's so inspiring, and it really does mean a lot to get your mind thinking in the right direction. And how you're talking about how you had to sacrifice in that year, you didn't know what you were going to do, sleeping on a mattress in hotels, and now you actually have a home in Victoria. So, I think it's beautiful to see your journey, that you didn't give up and you actually invested in our city, and you're in it to win it, as they say. And so you're talking about, coming from Mexico, coming over here and going to the military and doing all of that. So after the military, what happened from there to get you to where you are now, to the car sales and then owning car dealerships?
Yeah, so I wanted to be a police officer. That's why I went into the military. So they told me I needed to go to the military for 2 years, and I did that. And then when I got out of the military, they were like, well, right now the academy, we're kind of going some things. We can't really get you in, Alex, so you have to kind of wait. So I decided to get a job waiting tables, and that was like the best job I've ever had, because I was used to cleaning carpets, washing dishes, doing all that stuff. So I felt like really fancy, like, wow, I'm waiting tables at Lone Star Cafe, and I'm selling chicken fried steaks. This is awesome. So, and I was really good at it. So, and one night, I had a gentleman that came in, and well, he was kind of like my regular guy. And he told me, Alex, you're truly wasting your talent. You have a great personality, and I really feel you need to be in the car business. And I said, doing what? He said, selling cars. And I said, I don't want to be a car salesman. I want to be a cop, sir. That's completely like different from what I want. I want to help people. I want to serve people. I want to save lives. I don't want to sell cars, and I don't want to lie to people. And he told me, well, you don't have to lie to sell cars. And I was like, really? So anyway, he gave me his business card, and sure enough, 6 months later, I was kind of going through something with my boss. I got upset, and I said, you know what? I'm out of here. And I went to see this guy, and here I am. And ironically, 30 years later, I just hired him to be my GM at the Honda store. There you go.
Talk about full circle.
That's right.
Yeah, and it's interesting how you can have that moment where somebody says something and believes in you, and then that kind of sticks with you. But it's all about timing. When you were ready, you went. And I mean, just full circle. Now that you hired him, and it shows like he believed in you. You're like, hey, I believe in you. Come over to my dealership. So your journey, it's so inspiring in the sense that you took a leap of faith. I mean, you came to a whole new country. And you also not only came to a whole new country, you served our country. And that's really amazing, and thank you for that. Thank you for your service. And then to go from you have this plan of police officer to car salesman. And I also like that he told you don't have to lie to sell cars. And so I think that's, where did that come from? You hear that in car sales, and, both of my grandfathers were they owned car dealerships. And so it's always interesting with me. I think a few people do a few things in the industry, and that's like, oh, car salesman, because I know in your dealership and a lot of other, it's not like that. So what's your philosophies? I heard you have some principles. Can you tell me a little bit about those things?
Yeah, so, the car business has changed a lot, and, we're all about transparency. We believe that, it doesn't have to be the way that you think it is at a car dealership. So, the customer comes first. And I know you hear that from all the dealers. They tell you, hey, customer comes first. We want you to experience this, but we truly, truly put the customer first. And, I want to make sure that every customer that comes to our dealerships goes, wow, how amazing was this? Whether they buy a car or not, I don't care if they don't buy a car. I just want them to know that, hey, this is a place that's different. Just by the people, the way they talk to you, the way they treat you, how you feel as soon as you walk in. We make it all about our customers. In fact, our mission statement is to deliver hope, because some of us used to be dope dealers, and now we're hope dealers. And we deliver hope every day. So I wasn't a dope dealer, but some of them were. But now they're delivering hope. And our mission statement is to be the best part of everyone's day and to deliver hope. I mean, that is our mission. That really, we're intentional about that. It's on the walls, and we really talk about this every day to no matter who, and you should do that no matter what. Even if you're at a restaurant, if I'm having lunch at Hubar's, or if I'm at the Coffee Box, or if I go to Ventura's, I try to make sure that whoever I connect, that I deliver hope, that I give this person hope. And if I just see them smile and I can tell, okay, they're good now. I think we all need that.
No, you're right. And you never know what somebody just went through or what they're going through. They may seem like they got it all together when in reality they're falling apart. I'm sure when you were going through a lot of the things you mentioned, people probably didn't even know. They had no clue. So I think it's always important to be mindful and to just be your best self and give people hope. And what a beautiful message for the employees as well, that's your motto and what you go by and what they deliver to people. And I like that you said, I don't even care if they buy a car. I just want to make their day better. And that is true. I can tell you for a fact, because I've been in there and he's just chatting with people, and everyone's so nice when you walk through the door, and you don't feel this pressure, salesy thing. It's just like, hey, happy to see you. I'm glad you're here. And chatting about something else, not even about a car, And then if you have questions, they'll answer it. And you're getting the community, and I am excited because they're going to be part of the Think Big Festival. You want to tell them a little bit about the car that you guys are going to be showing, because you guys have some different ones. You even have one that's going to be coming, an electric car, correct? An SUV that you're going to have. It's not going to be at the festival, but you're going to have it, correct?
We're talking about the Nissan?
Yes.
Yes, so Nissan has an electric vehicle, and I'm embarrassed because I don't know the name of the car. I have too many dealerships. I'm sorry, but
Is
it's
it the
pretty
Leaf?
awesome.
Is it the
It's
Leaf?
awesome.
I think, is it the
Yes.
Leaf? Is it the Nissan Leaf, maybe?
No,
Is
no,
that-
that's no. It's a new one. Is it the Leaf?
The Leaf is the one you're showing. I don't know the name of the SUV
Yes,
because it's like
yes.
brand new coming out.
I know,
Yeah.
and I hope Nissan is not watching this because they're gonna be really mad at me. I'm supposed to know that name of that car.
No, they have to take a whole class on it.
Yeah.
The salespeople there, the GM there, they have to take a whole class on it. So we're gonna have some Nissan people out there with us so they can speak specifically to them.
It's so exciting because it sounds like such a cool vehicle, and so you're always getting new cool things, different things, and when I talked about getting involved in the community, I have seen you guys everywhere, and that's so awesome to see you and giving back in the way that you do. And your dealerships, I really love the look of them and the feel of them, but mostly I love the vibe, and I think that's so important. It doesn't feel pressury, like I said, and so whenever you're getting staff together and training them, what do you think sets you apart? Because I did really notice a difference in your dealership. What do you think it is? Is it that, like, when you hire people, is there something you're looking for, or what is it?
Yeah, we want people that want to change, because I always tell people you can go work anywhere. You can probably find a better job than a car dealership, but you're not gonna have the experience that you're gonna have here with us, which is be able to be a better person, be a better parent. Because if you can come to a place to work where it's giving you hope that you can be a better person, and I think that's what every community needs. I think that's what our country needs. I think that's what our schools need. Eventually, I will get into politics. Not quite yet. I need a little more gray in my hair, but eventually I will do that. And I want to be able to inspire people to get more involved and inspire others. And that's what we do at Bravo. We tell them, hey, you can come as you are, but you're not going to leave as you came. And I promise you that, because we constantly talk about changing, transforming, becoming better. We do one-on-ones with them, and we talk to them about their families. We really want to get to know our employees. And obviously, if they don't want to get personal, they don't have to. But most of the time, you'd be surprised how people, if you just ask certain questions, they'll open up. And I think, honestly, like any small town, there's a lot of brokenness. There's a lot of people a lot of young men and women that grew up without parents, or maybe divorced parents. They grew up around addiction, alcohol, all these things, abuse. So I think it's nice to have a safe place, and that safe place being Bravo. That's my goal.
No, that is so wonderful in every way, because you're right. It's sometimes people just need that safe space, and I think too it helps as a business owner to know when your employees are going through something, to know they can come to you and be open and honest, and then you work as a team to support them and surround them with hope, like you said. And if they feel they can actually tell you those things, and then they'll do a better job too, because they feel they're in a safe place where they can share this information.
You're not going to be judged.
Exactly, and that's really important. And I think a lot of businesses need to have that business model to where they're a safe place for employees, because at the end of the day, you are at your job more. Sometimes you see those people more than you see your family, so they become the second family. And so I believe you should treat it like that, and we should all care and support one another and be that support system. So that's really great that you do that within your company. And when you're talking about inspiring and all of this, so where do you get your knowledge from? Are there any good books you would recommend? Any podcasts maybe you listen to?
Yeah, well, number one is the Bible for me. But there is a book called Mindset, and that really helped me change the way I think, going from having a fixated mindset to a growth mindset. And that's a phenomenal book. I also, I'm a big fan of, oh my gosh, I just lost my train of thought. There's a book called, 7 Habits.
Oh, yeah.
Yes. Yes, 7 Effective Habits, and also the 5 Levels of Leadership by John Maxwell. That's a great one. So if you're in any type of leadership, I definitely recommend that book. I'm a big John Maxwell guy. Believe it or not, I'm a big Tony Robbins guy. Yeah, absolutely. I like Tony. I'm a huge Billy Graham fan. So just anybody that I think it's sending a message out there about positivity and just having a different outlook in life. I think sometimes we kind of get caught up in the bubble, and we have that cloud on top of us, and we allow that to just kind of dictate how our day, how our month, or perhaps even a year is going to go. But we can definitely change that just by seeing it completely different. They used to call me the optometrist, because they were like, Alex, you put these glasses on and I see life completely different. My wife becomes nice all of a sudden. My kids become like awesome, and like my job, I love my job now. You're right, because we focus too much on what's wrong and not enough on what's right. I think that's with everything, and that's what's breaking marriages. This is what's making us maybe walk away from maybe perhaps a great opportunity, or maybe breaking relationships between parents and kids as well.
Well, and you're right. It's all about that growth mindset, perspective, how you see things. I think we have a choice when we're going through things, how we see things. And my daughter recently told me something about, we were looking at the shirt and I said, oh, it has a few stains on it. I don't know if you want that as vintage. And she goes, oh, no, I love it. She's like, Mom, it tells a story. And then she leaned over and she says, isn't that great? It tells a story. Try that on everything. And so now when something bad happens, I'm like, well, now I have a story to tell. It tells a story. And it's that whole perspective shift of how you view things when you're going through them. And so you're exactly right. I think that more people, if they took a step back instead of focusing, because we are what we digest. So if we're focused on negative things we're seeing on social media, we're going to start to feel that negativity. If we're around negative people all the time that aren't growing with growth mindset, we're going to start to be like that. So I love that you push that narrative, because I think that is vital, especially in society right now. We need to be pushing, instead of always focusing on, oh, this is wrong, this isn't what's going good in my life. Focus on maybe what is going good, because what you focus on grows. And so the fact that you're putting that out not only in your business but the community and everything you do, I really appreciate that, because we need so much more of that in the world. And so being in Victoria, kind of what's your focus there, and where would you like to see the community go and grow within the next few years?
Yeah, I think there's a lot of opportunity for growth here in this community. I love what you do. I love what I see here. I think this is awesome. It makes me feel like I'm in Austin. And I think we can show the community that there is more, that there's a different way of doing things. That, I always hear like, oh man, small towns, and I've seen it actually. Everybody knows everybody's business, and people will run to you and tell you, you better know about this person, because let me tell you all his business or hers. And I'm like, honestly, I don't care, because to me, it's not about the past. It's where you're going and the future. And I think we can change that mindset, where maybe the community comes closer, and instead of attacking each other, we're helping each other, and we teach our children that united we can do more and we can grow more, and to a point where people want to stay here. Because I always see small towns, kids cannot wait to get out of here. They want to go to big towns, and they feel like there's more opportunity somewhere else. And I feel like if we can change the culture of the community, and as we grow, Bravo, we'll do more things for the community. With your help, with Lisa's help, we can think of ideas of what can we do to show the young people that there's better ways of doing things, that there is hope for our community, that there is, more amazing things out there than what they think there is. So that's my hope.
No, and I love that, because that's my hope too. And I think you are exactly right, in the sense someone runs to tell you something. I was literally talking about this today, where it has to stop. You have to immediately, when someone comes to you, you have to say, I'm sorry, but I'm not going to engage in this conversation, because it's not going to bring any value. And so let's not speak about negativity. Let's not focus on that. Let's talk about something positive, because what you focus on grows. And so it's one of those things that you have to flip the script, change the narrative, and really get things going in a different direction. And I love what you said, change the culture, because I think that's so important. A lot of times we focus on, well, how can we change it and make better culture in the workplace, our city? And it is shifting, and things are changing, and there is more opportunity. And I think the more opportunity that starts to happen, it's going to increase people wanting to stay here and realizing that there are things that can happen here, and they have a chance to grow and have a really great life. And, just like when all of that happens, then it'll help your business grow. And when your business grows, you're able to give back and do more with our community as well. So it's that domino effect. But I love what you said about the culture of the city. You're spot on.
Yeah, and if they can build a Nordstrom, my wife would move here. So if we can make that happen, I can convince my wife. But no, and I was going to say, just to be clear, there's incredible, amazing people in Victoria. I am blown away. I came to Austin, Texas in '89, and this reminds me of the old Austin. And I met some of the most amazing people here. I mean, I love Victoria, Texas. Everybody's so nice. Everybody's so kind, respectful, polite, they'll call me Mr. Bravo, Mr. Bravo, Mr. Bravo. How you doing, Mr. Bravo? And they want to do the who are we? But it's awesome just to see like the kindness, the gentleness, the love that there is in this community. But I think there's still opportunity for growth, and there's opportunity to show our culture. And I love what Mr. Moses does for the community, how involved he is, and he you can tell his heart's in the right place, and he wants to help people change. And we need more of that. We need more of that. And I think together we can do that. And I believe that Bravo, if we can just start with the young people that work there and everybody that works there for that matter, where we're out there just delivering a message, it just spreads out. Love will spread. Love will always win, for sure.
For sure. And so what I just heard is Gary Moses should teach a class on how he does what he does.
Absolutely. We need more like you. Yes.
I know.
Yes.
But
I want to be like him.
I know
Yes.
who everybody does, right? I know I wear his little pin as good luck when I do things. I'm not right now, but usually I wear it, and I always tell him it's for good luck. But it is true. You know, we need those people out there doing those things. And I appreciate you because I see
Speaking
you
life.
doing
We need
that.
people
Yes.
speaking life.
I see you doing that, and it does. It creates that vibe and that energy in the city that's so important. And I love what you said about your wife moving there because, you know, we can create these good-paying jobs and things in the city, but we need things that are going to attract people here, like the more restaurants that we have that people like, the more stores we have people like, the more events we have. That's what keeps people here. When bigger companies are looking to move here, they're looking at quality of life. So I think it's about creating more of that quality of life for people. And our city is really working hard right now to do that. And I know the economic development too. So it's exciting to see what's going down the pipeline and coming here and then everything you're doing for the community. So, you know, it is a forward motion, but I think, you know, we can all work harder and do more. And so that's kind of what we've got to get more. We've all got to be, you know, doing our thing. And so I appreciate you putting in the time and the effort because I know you work so hard, but you still always find the time to give back and to be present. And so what is for the next like couple years in Victoria, do you have any like big plans for growth or like anything you'd like to do or anything the community can help you with? Like what can we do for you? You're always giving back. What is something the community could do for you?
I don't think, I mean, the only thing is just for us to come together, maybe business owners, we can come together and create more events instead of just the ones that you guys have every year. But maybe like cooler events, maybe target like younger people for some of those events. And then also like maybe business owners get together and figure out how we can encourage other business owners to come to our city. And I notice I'm calling it our city now. I've been here for a year and a half, so I own a home here. So
I give you a pass,
yes,
you can
okay.
call it.
Thank you. And just like you said, I mean, I love what you said. I think there's a huge, I mean, I was looking it up, I think yesterday with my wife, and they're thinking about, I don't know if it's already approved or what, but there's possibly a big refinery coming to Victoria, which is I was so excited because they were like $5.2 billion. I was like, oh my gosh, this is amazing. And then I read it's like 472 jobs. I was like, all right, well, that's a start. But we can just keep encouraging companies and business to come to Victoria, whether, like you said, that there's more choices, there's things to do. And I think it's going to happen because people are getting tired of Austin getting so big and all these other places. And I'm encouraged by it. I think it's coming. I'm praying for our city, and I'm praying that it grows in a good way.
Me too, and I love what you said about business owners getting together. That's what I want to see. I want to see more communication between like businesses. Growth mindset is so important because it isn't competition. Either I'm going to buy something from you or you, maybe both of you, you know? And so it's one of those things where business owners getting together and actually talking to each other, connecting with each other, saying, hey, well, I'm going to do this event. Well, cool, yeah, let's all get on that. Let's do that. And there's so much power and when you have an abundance mindset of things that can actually happen and when you're working together as a community and as business owners. And I think that's really important. And even just to have those chats, because I know in a lot of industries, you know, they have like mastermind groups, and I'm sure you do something in the auto industry. And so I think that's so important to have that here where we're communicating and talking to one another. And that is what I love about our Coffee and Concepts, because we actually all talk to each other. Oh, I'm planning on this. Oh, well, I can do that too. And so you bringing that up up, it is such an important point because we have to talk to each other in this community. We have to have clear communication. I always say clarity is kindness. So if you want to do something and you're doing something, I don't know unless you tell me you're doing it. So let's all talk to each other. Let's open up those channels of communication so that we can better support each other. Ask, like, how can I support you? Where do you need help? But make it a two-way street, not just a one-way street. And that is what I do really respect so much about what you do. And I'll say this over and over, is that you're not just, oh, I open up car dealerships, bye. You're in it to win it, and you're here and you're investing in the community, and you're saying, well, how can I better help you? Well, what can I do? And it doesn't even matter if someone's never been in your car dealership. You're still going to get to know them. You want to know the people in the community. You have a home here, and so I want to thank you for taking a chance on Victoria and coming here. And what did bring you to Victoria? Why did you pick Victoria?
Okay, so please don't laugh, okay? This is a funny story. So I've always been huge in the Hispanic, Spanish-speaking market. So when I heard Victoria, I figured, hey, there's got to be a lot of people that speak Spanish. So I'm going to do all this advertising in Spanish just to come find out that most people in Victoria do not speak Spanish. But I was already here. I already bought the dealership, so I was like, okay, here we go. We're gonna make this work. But no, it's been incredible. It's been amazing, and it's been a blessing. And you know, when you were talking about people getting together, I think the biggest piece of that puzzle is networking and being able to connect people with people that are the right people to help them. And I think that's one thing that's been a huge part of my success, where just being able to have a seat at the table with people who can help me and network and connect with the right people has been fundamental for my success, for sure.
Well, and that you're right, because it's like when you get in a room with people and they actually know what you're working on and you talk to them, that connections, I mean, that's what's helped me in my life is connecting and being able to connect others. And so there's a power in just getting that seat at the table. And this is why I tell everybody, we all have a seat at the table. Some people just don't realize it. We all, no matter what walk of life you're in, you all have a right to be at the table. And a lot of times people are willing to help you. I know when I spoke at the high school the other day, I said, I wish I would have known when I was your age. You have the golden ticket just because you're young. Older people love to help younger people. It's a thing, guys. Like, it's such a thing. And I did not know that when I was younger. I really wish I would have. And so it's also people in the community love to help other people in the community. They love it. And so they can't help you if they don't know what you're working on. And I just want everyone to know out there that, like, we all have a seat at the table. We all have a right to live our dreams and chase our dreams. You are a perfect example of that, is that you left a country, came to a new country. I mean, geez, that's scary. Talk about a leap of faith. You joined the military and
went to live in a new country with the military.
Yes.
Bosnia.
Yeah,
yes.
Man, that's like another country. And so, I mean, just taking this huge leap of faith to better your life and yourself, but you're not only doing it for yourself, you're helping others and bringing you others up with you as you go. And so I think that, like, if you're dreaming and you want to do it. There's nothing holding you back but you. If there's something that you want to do, you can do it. He is an example of this, you know? And so if there's something that you're thinking about doing, you have to put it out there and ask for mentors. And so as far as mentorship, is that something that you do? And because I know, kind of tell me a little bit about your inspiring and kind of like your public speaking and everything you do in that realm, and how we can all find you and listen to you, because you're so encouraging. And before you answer that question, I have to say one thing. A few months back, I actually had a guy that was involved in Innovation Collective sending me his video saying, you got to meet this guy. He has got to be a Fireside chat speaker. And it's him walking in the morning saying, guys, you know, I know you may have a bad day or something and you can do this. And I was like, man, this guy's energy is great. I like him. I'm going to get him as a Fireside chat speaker. You're right. But it was so cool to see how that all came full circle too, where somebody you were really inspiring, a young man in our community, so much so that he's like, other people need to know about this guy, and he's right here in our community. So now can you tell us how we can find you and listen to your words and be inspired by you and mentoring and all of those things?
Well, you know, I do most of my stuff through social media and through my Facebook page. It's just my personal Facebook page. I don't do this for any other reason, just to try to inspire and help people and just put out a positive message every single day because like you said earlier, you never know what somebody's going through.
It worked, obviously.
You never know what somebody is maybe in their mind thinking, I can't get out of this hole. This is too hard. How am I going to, get over this? And just to be able to have someone, I hope, that I can deliver hope by doing that, that's a win for me. And like I said, I've got some stuff out there, but nothing, that I do professionally. It's just my own thing that I just like to. But if you want to meet with me and you want to talk, I'm all for it. And if I can inspire and help you, mentor you in any way, and the way I'm going to inspire is by telling you my story and telling you, hey, if I can do it, you can for sure do it, because you're better than me, for sure.
Well, and that's something that's so great, is that I love that you don't lead with your ego. You're like, hey, I want you all to be better than I could ever be. And I want you to have that success, and not only have that success, but I want to help you along your journey. So thank you for being somebody that does that. That's really remarkable.
Here at Thrive Fuel, we build videos that showcase the best of your brand. One of the best marketing tools to showcase your above and beyond the competition is video production. Consumers prefer quick, easy to digest information, and that's exactly what we can create for you. At Thrive Fuel, we have the skill and experience to bring your video to life. Let us help you tell your story. When you thrive, we thrive.